Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Trading the Close. My name is Gareth, Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here at VerifiedInvesting.com. Big day on Wall Street. We saw some major selling in the semiconductor sector after ASML came out with a surprise earnings announcement. Kind of came around 10 a.m. in the morning. Markets were already open. Things were going fine. The markets were, kind of around the flat line. And then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. We also saw here, folks, that there was chatter that there might be more bans on chip sales to other countries besides China. All of these combined for a big sell-off in the NASDAQ as well as in the chip sector. Let's jump over to our numbers here and take a look at what we have going on today. All right, so what do we have here? Take a look. Dow down 418 points on the day, about 1%. We also have the NASDAQ down 221 points. All right, that's a big move, 1.2%. S&P down almost 1%, down 56 points. Oil under pressure, down about 1 point or $1 on the day, 1.43%. And then gold today eking out a small gain, kind of a safety hedge, right? So when people are pulling money from the chip stocks, they're looking and saying, well, where can I put this money? Some of it's going into gold, and you know where else it's going? Right here, into Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, you guys, what's the level on Bitcoin that I've told you about? Over and over again, I said 68,000, 68,000. That's your upper band of your parallel channel. Well, guess what? Bitcoin soared up, kissing 68,000, then reversed within probably about 30 to 40 minutes to under 65,000 and has settled in, as we're seeing here, at 66,900. But this is incredible, and we're going to look at the charts in just 1 second. Looking at the heat map real quick, you can see this one right here, Nvidia down over 5%. That is crushing the NASDAQ alone. $3.4 trillion market cap right there, down 5%. And then you can see financials are actually hanging in there. A lot of green, a lot of gray. That means neutral to positive there. And then obviously technology, Microsoft's down here, Amazon's down slightly, but this is really a game of chips today. Chips, again, are getting crushed. Let's jump into some of these chip names. All right. So what we're going to do first and foremost here is we want to take a look, and bear with me here as I get the right charts up. There we go. So if we look here, this is the NASDAQ, and you can see when that news came out from ASML right here at around 10 o'clock in the morning, look at the fall that we saw in the NASDAQ, and it basically continued all day long. Looking at ASML, this is the daily chart, but if we go to the 10-minute, look at this. So this was at 9, here was the market open at 9:30, 9:40, 9:50, 10, and then at 10:10 that news broke. And look at the fall. And by the way, ASML is like, it's a big company. I think it's something like $300 billion, $400 billion market cap company. So it certainly is a big one. There's no doubt about that. All right, so what we see on the chart here is it continued to go lower, falling lower. You can see a small rally into the end of the day. I did isolate down my levels of where I'm interested in being a buyer. It hasn't gotten there just yet, but take a look here. In fact, I'm going to run over to the screen here and show you guys this, because this is what I love to do. I love charting out these levels to see exactly where it is. Look at this. Right here, 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 right through here and here. Then this little pivot, pivot low, and it goes right to that point. Then you see, okay, well, what about here and here? What if we connected to here, right there? Well, guess what? That now gives us a level at 697. So 697, now is this a long-term investment? No. Almost nothing I ever cover in trading the close of the game plan is ever long-term investments. All right, I'm a swing trader by heart. I'm a day trader. That's what I do. Shorter-term investments, levels where we're going to get good big bounces, where I can make money quickly and then be out back in cash, ready to deploy that cash again. And that's the key here. So watch that 697 level. Let's jump back to the screen here and see what else is going on. We look at Nvidia today, guys. Nice pullback on Nvidia, down, as we said. Well, it's rallied back a little bit here. We're back to about 4.5% drop. But nonetheless, look at how close it came to double top. Didn't officially tag it, and then got hammered today. Be interesting to see what happens in the coming days. If we look at the SMH, big down day on the SMH, down 5.45%. Congratulations to Smart Money Stocks and ETFs members. We had the SOX, which is a 3x short the SMH, up, and we made a score today. Big score on that one today, so congratulations to those members out there. All right, couple stocks in the after hours I'm watching here, guys. UAL reports earnings. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I do have a short on this stock. I might be wrong, but I cannot, in good conscience, I can't be not short this stock. Even if it goes up, it's just ridiculous. If we look at this, right, if we do a measurement on this, look at this move here. That's a 70, what is that? 74% move from August 1st on an airline stock. Come on, give me a break. And then look at all these trend lines converging today. We almost got a bottoming tail. At least we got a topping tail. We got a doji today. We'll have to see what happens. Let me flip to my after hours and see what the heck's going on here. Oh yeah, there we go. It's selling a little bit here. Starting to sell just a little bit in the after hours. I don't know if earnings are out now. It's going up. Now it's going the other way. Now it's going... If you wanted to be whipsawed, this is where it's at, apparently. This is where it's at. All right, JBHT is another one here, guys. JBHT reporting earnings. Now, most of you maybe haven't heard of JBHT, but if we look at the charts here, the reason why this one's important, and it doesn't look like earnings are out yet, is because it's a transportation stock. Transportation is important because depending on what they say about their business and how it's proceeding or how it's going, it tells us something about the economy. So the transportation stocks, I pay very, very close attention to those because, again, what it says about the consumer. And that's something that we'll be watching in the after hours as well. This morning, we got earnings from Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, guys, yesterday in trading the close, I said, hey, guys, these things are ridiculously overdone. Even if they beat earnings, I doubt they're going up. And look, it opened higher, sold right off. If we look at Citigroup, opened higher right here. I had a major level, sold right off. This is the power of understanding charts. If we go over to the big board, always remember this. I think I even went over this either this morning in the game plan or yesterday in trading the close, is that you have to understand is that the markets don't care what the analysts' expectations are. They care about where the stock is trading. That's your true barometer of what the company has to report. When you have a stock that's gone ridiculously higher, like these stocks, like Goldman was at all-time highs. This was approaching double top, major trend line. Look at the vertical nature of this chart. It means that the bar for earnings is unbelievably high. It's very hard for these companies, especially after JPM did so well. They all went up on those earnings from JP Morgan, Wells Fargo last Friday. So it's already basically what that meant is that JP Morgan beat by X amount. It was already factored in that Citigroup and Goldman Sachs had to beat by the same amount because their stocks went up on those reports from JP Morgan and Wells Fargo. So they had to go up, they had to even go above that, even way above that. Almost impossible to do. It's setting up for failure. And ultimately, again, you can see the reversal there. Beautiful little sell-off on Citigroup there. Now we're going to get into Bitcoin, guys. And again, we'll get right into Bitcoin here as we get into things here. And Bitcoin, again, truly epic here. You guys can see, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here so we can go. But let me come over to the chart so we can draw on this. All right, so with Bitcoin, guys, what do we have here? Well, I've talked about my parallel channel, right? Amazing how down here, here, and here. And then even up here, 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 here. Well, guess what? What does that tell me? Just the power of logic and deduction. It's all you need. You just can't be swayed by all the emotional BS that's out there. Whether it's mainstream media, whether it's social media, it does you no favors. In fact, it probably hurts you. Use the charts to your advantage. Today, we saw Bitcoin surging up. It literally kissed 68,000. Within 30 minutes, it was back below 65, and now it's mitigated. It's kind of back up here, trading at 66,900. That's resistance. Now, what do? Do you say, oh, it's going to break out? Well, as a trader, the real thing is, nope, we don't know yet. You have to be okay with not knowing. What do we look for? We look for, okay, you've had a big move up. Do we make a sideways consolidation, which is bullish? Or do we have a reversal, which is bearish? What kind of action are we going to get here in the next couple days, which will then tell us or give us a probability on the next move on Bitcoin. So right now, we've hit resistance. That's all we know. We know it's hit resistance and it's pulling back. Now we watch to see what happens. We get new pieces of the puzzle the next couple days. Is it a piece of the puzzle that shows a bull flag? Is it a reversal? What are we seeing there? And that is the key, folks, to not make judgments, not let your hopes and dreams overpower your judgment and your logic. Use that more than anything. Very, very powerful stuff. Okay, a couple other things here, guys. Whew, gold and silver. Gold just not doing a whole lot here. If we look at the chart, gold up a little bit, still underneath that or right at that key level. And silver, same thing. It's up a little bit today. I'm still favoring that move to $29 on silver. Next up, we have oil here. Oil trading down just a little bit on the day, or actually a decent trade down here on oil. Continuing to come in. And then lastly, natural gas here, guys. Let's see what natural gas is doing. Basically flat on the day. You guys know I'll look to probably short it up here, buy it down here. Right now, this is called a no-touch zone. There's nothing to do here. Just wait, let it form, let it tell us what we can do, and then we'll do it. Essentially, what you want to do is you want to let the charts tell you. As soon as most retail investors and most investors, even institutional investors, they try to push their personal ideas on the charts or on the companies or on the cryptos, and that is a detriment. Listen, if you're a long-term investor and you're going to walk away for 30 years, doesn't really matter. If you're someone who wants to trade more actively and make standardized income, make thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands a month, this is what you have to do. And you have to be disciplined and logical, unbelievably so, to where you could watch the news, but you can't let it influence you. You have to stay even keel at all times. Basically, always look at things and say, I'm going to make up my own mind based on what makes sense, not what the hype is or the fear that's being spread, all that nonsense. All it does is detriment. It's a detriment to society, frankly. All right, enough of my speech here, enough of my sermon. You guys go rock it. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for tuning into Trading the Close. I'll see you soon.